Hey, we're back, and look at this. I have Jennifer Dittman across from me. I am so stinking excited. I'm John Marshall. I'm Suncoast NPI, and this is Suncoast NPI TV. We just had a great segment with Cyrus. I appreciate you being here, Cyrus. That was great information. And again, Suncoast NPI is full of individuals, full of members that are true rock stars at what they do. You just don't come in and become a member. You get vetted before you get in there. So you're a rock star at what you do. That's you, Jennifer Dittman.
Thank
you know
you.
that.
Yep.
And have a servant's heart. And I know this lady's heart. She has a heart that's bigger than this room, bigger than this city, and bigger than the state. And I just love I love a lot of things about you, but that's one of the things I really just adore about you, the servant's heart, and then commitment to make this work. But this time is all about you. I'm excited to have you on Suncoast MPI TV, and you look great. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, John, and I thank you for all the accolades. And community service is something that is very dear to my heart, as you know that. You are too. So
absolutely.
It's a good match. So yes.
For sure. So Jennifer Dittman, Brightway Insurance. How did you get started in insurance?
Well, actually, I had most of my career was in retail management, and in 1995, a friend of mine said, "Hey, why don't you come work in my agency?" And I thought, well, insurance really, I don't know. But I thought, I'm going to take this jump. So in 1995 is when I started my career, full force, and I went and worked for her. And a year later, my husband joined the agency, and a couple years after that, we ended up purchasing the agency.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, and we ran it successfully for many years. In about 2008, 2007, we had an offer for somebody to buy it, and we thought, okay, well, we'll do this. And that was just before the economy tanked, so you know, we fared out very well at that. So we ended up selling it and going and trying some other different things. And about 2015, I thought, you know, I really miss it. I miss the people. I miss helping people. I just miss it, and I wanted to get back into it. And so I did my research and came up with Brightway, and that's how, you know, we came Brightway. And my nephew, he had moved down here, just recently married and looking for a career. He's, you know, 20-something, millennial, and I thought, I know what you need to do. And that's how we started with Brightway. You know, I did the work and decided Brightway was the way to go.
That's awesome. And and I've had the privilege of meeting your husband as well, Doug. Great man, and you guys are a great couple. So how about Brightway? So tell us a little bit more about Brightway, and maybe even like why. I mean, you've been in the business before, you ran a successful one, you sold it successfully, and so why did you actually, there's a lot of different options out there, so why did you choose Brightway?
Well, in looking at the options, what we found with Brightway is they offered us a lot. They offered us back office, where we have a 250, 300 person customer service, 800 number for our clients, and they do a lot for our renewals, and they help us. They have a lot of systems put in place, but the biggest thing is they brought a lot of companies. You know, we're still an independent agency. Each Brightway office is independent. It's a franchise. We're all independently owned, so we own our business, but we come under the Brightway umbrella, so we have a lot of the advantages of being a big company. Plus, we're independent. You have your captive agents and your independent. Captive agent is an agency that can write for one company. An independent has many. Well, that's what Brightway is. We have many. I have over 100 homeowners companies I can write with. We've got auto companies. We can write just about anything for a price, of course. But yes, we have all the options, and so that's why with Brightway, I'm not in this by myself, and because I did start it from scratch, and we opened November 2016. You know, the phones aren't ringing, so it's up to us to make the phones ring. And then, so after about a year of that, because my first thing I did was join NPI, of course, in '95.
Of course, wow.
And then when I came back, that was the first thing I said, I got to find an NPI. And I found one group that didn't have an insurance person in it, which is really hard to do.
It's hard.
And when I walked in, I already knew some people in there from my career before, so it was like coming home, you know. Because
back to a family.
Absolutely, you meet these people, you know, Teresa and DDA. We had networked with them before, you know, years ago. So it's like coming home. So, you know, at that time, our group had 9 people. And now today, I'm proud to say we're up to 22 great rock stars,
Yeah.
and every single person in there is just great.
Yeah, no, and you're one of them.
Yeah, so it's an awesome group, and we're still growing. We're still looking for great members, and we're really growing.
Look at that, shameless plug. Jennifer Dittman, Central Vanillas,
Yes.
Sun Goes to NPI.
I mean,
I love it.
That's how we
Tuesday
built our
lunch.
business before. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely,
No,
absolutely.
I appreciate that, and I said shameless plug for me. So thank you for that.
Well,
that was very
I'm
kind
here
of you.
because of you, so that's good.
How about, I appreciate those kind words. How about the Brightway, the Dittman agency? Do you want to talk about that for a minute or
Yep.
two? So tell us about your Brightway.
Well, my Brightway is awesome. After being in it a year, we thought, well, we need to do something. So I hired 2 rock star producers.
Okay.
So there's 4 of us now in the office. Well, I've got Danny, he's now my right-hand man,
Perfect.
the office manager. And then I have Chris and Lewis, who are fantastic. And we have 4 different personalities, but the best thing I can say is everybody loves to come to work there.
That's awesome.
And everybody gets along. We have no backstabbing. We're all a team. I don't call them employees. They're a team because
That's great.
the bottom line is eventually those kids are going to be running the agency, and I'm going to be sitting on the beach.
There you're sitting on the beach.
That's right.
I did not
That's
know
right.
that.
So, we're growing it so that they can run it eventually. They're young, they're all in their early 20s, they're hungry,
Right.
they're great, they're smart, they're everything you would want in a team.
Gotcha.
And they enjoy coming to work. I enjoy having them come to work. So you can't ask for more. They all want to help people.
Right.
That's their main focus. Education is what we focus on. Whether we make the sale or not is beside the point, because you're going to do business with people that like, and trust.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
And that's what we afford to. We want people to do business with us. We are building our business one person at a time.
Great.
We're not buying a book of business, already have clients, we are building it. And so it's important. And we can't help everybody.
Yep.
Sometimes we do tell people, you're best where you are.
Right.
But we appreciate anybody that gives us a chance, to win their business. And that's what we try to do, is win their business. And it might not be today, it might be in 2-3 years. Or you might, let your neighbor know about us.
Yeah.
So, and we're very community service oriented. We're involved in our churches, in our community, and it's all very important. And that's my goal. I want to do most of, that's what I want to do, is go out in the community. And that's why I started my Brightway.
Yeah,
So.
that's great. It's so interesting to have this conversation, because a lot of the things our companies are really kind of aligned when you make that comment, because that was kind of one of the conduits for me one of the main reasons for me was to get involved in buying NPI, was having a conduit to give back to the community. So I appreciate you sharing that. And then with sounds like no drama. So, and it's really cool to kind of listen to that, excuse me if I say the generational, right? So you have you and Doug, and then, and then the millennial, and that's family. And then you kind of help to build them up and bring them on, and they're hungry. And it sounds like it's a perfect win-win for
Absolutely.
everybody,
Absolutely.
and including the customer, which is obviously key.
Absolutely. And we have Lewis, too, who we can, he's fluent in Spanish.
Okay.
And that's kind of the market he'd like to, because he loves helping people to understand their insurance, because,
Sure.
if you don't speak the language,
Right.
you don't know what you're signing. And it's very important for us to know what we're selling you, or
Right.
what you're buying, or what you're protecting yourself with. It's a very important part. So we have that aspect, too.
That's great. So bilingual. So there you go. Spanish speaking to como está, so then they can come talk to Lewis.
Absolutely.
That's another value add. So you made a comment about services. So why don't you tell the audience what specific services do you guys offer to the customer?
Well, the first thing we do is we always offer to look over their insurance, all of it, and give them recommendations.
Okay.
If they're a Brightway client, they have availability. They have an 800 number they can call if they have questions, or they can call me or our office or whoever their agent is direct.
Okay.
We have all kinds of resources. So, and that's where MPI comes in also. If you need a plumber, if you need an electrician,
Right.
if you need a realtor, that's what's great about MPI. You have all these people you trust at your fingertips.
Right.
And that's what we're all about, is being a resource for people.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, it's really perfect. So you started this in 2016. You sold the other one in 07, 08. So I'm sure there's a lot of stories that kind of led up. You want to share a story or two, maybe that you don't want to repeat?
No.
As far as
It was all good. It was all good. We took our hobby and turned it into a business. Well, and we found out that's probably not the best thing to do, because you kind of like and our hobby was ceramics and glass and things like that. So we had a 2,400-foot warehouse that had all the toys you could possibly want in it.
Okay.
So, and we traveled around doing trade shows. We sold the supplies, and it was fun for a while, but
interesting.
It kind of puts you in a little cocoon. In between that, my husband, he bought a FedEx contracting route and grew that. He ended up selling that 2 years ago.
Okay.
But so we did a lot of different things. It was a great experience, but I kind of wanted to get back to something a little bit more rounded and a little bit more, just a little bit more business-like, plus community, plus something to build for retirement. So.
Right. Yeah.
And I know insurance, and I always liked insurance. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's interesting to me. There's so many facets to it, and it's not just you got a red car, how much is my insurance? A lot more goes into it than that.
Yeah. Understood. So I know one of the things that's really big on your heart is service and the community service. Would you like to share just a couple of things that you're passionate about right now, where you're pouring yourself into?
Well, right now I work with Ready for Life, which is an organization that they work with kids that have come, aged out of the system, out of the foster system, and they try to find mentors. So right now I'm in the process of being a mentor to one of these kids to kind of help them along to somebody there. Through our church, we have a mentoring program that I'm working with, and I'm going to get hooked up with some mentoring.
Oh, good.
I belong to a group called Harbor Exchange, and that we work with groups. We try to raise money for different groups, like Ready for Life is one of them, or Kids in Foster Care, or Maddie Williams over in Safety Harbor, and things like that. And then belonging to the chambers, and I just joined PRO, and I'm going to get on the Community Service Committee. And
they're a great organization.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of other things I like to do.
I know, you're always because of the community service is one of the things that we record and track at NPI, and you're always right there. You always get the award for the chapter. Thank you, and thank you for your heart. And we have about like 30 seconds or so. Is there something, maybe a quote or something inspirational you'd like to share, or even like NPI, is there something like that?
Well, like you always say, if we pull together, we all win.
If we pull together, we all win. That's exactly it, Miss Dittman. So, you mentioned that you wanted to kind of move on with the business at a certain point and go to the beach. What kind of time frame are you looking at?
5 or 10 years. 5
or 10 years?
Yeah. Okay. When it's good and going and smooth, that's why I'm training everybody, and they're excited, and I want my boys to make a lot of money,
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
And you're
have
amazing.
A good life.
You're amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Bye.